Take one.
Perfect.
Hi everyone! We're here today with our first interview with one of our members of the Santa Monica Holistic Chamber of Commerce, Ozro Hepworth.
And who are we?
Who are we? I'm Chantalyn, and this is my co-president, Michaela.
And we are the presidents of the Santa Monica Holistic Chamber of Commerce. And one of the member benefits of being a member of our chapter is that you get to have interviews like this that we're going to put on our YouTube channel for everybody to see. So we are here with our first interviewee,
Yay.
Ozro.
Yay! And we'll be discussing the importance of social media because Ozro is a social media expert.
Yep.
So get your notes and papers and pens and take some notes.
Yes.
Cool.
So, Ozro,
Yeah.
why is social media important nowadays in business?
So, one of the biggest things to a business growing is new customers or new clients, right? And you can't get new customers and clients if you don't have awareness of your business. It's just like opening a bakery on the corner shop that nobody walks past. Right now, everyone's attention is spent on social media. They say on average, people wake up and the first thing they do is check some sort of social media platform before they even turn to their partner and say good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I don't know.
Or if they don't have a partner, before they even like get up and do anything else, they grab their phone and check social media. So if you want your business to grow, you need to go where the attention is at, and everyone's attention is on social media throughout the day.
Energy flows where attention goes.
Yes.
That is one of the laws of universe. So
Yeah.
Yep.
it applies to social media as well.
Yeah.
Well, how do you choose which platform to focus on?
That's a good question. So I would say pick the platform that you feel most comfortable on, okay? So back in 2012 is when I really dove into social media, and the two main platforms I used were Twitter and Facebook. Now that it's 2018, I rarely ever go on Twitter because that's not where my audience is at. My ideal customer, ideal client spends most of their time on Facebook, and then Instagram is like a close second, so that's where I spend all my time and energy is on Facebook and Instagram. Now for somebody that's say more in literature or runs a newspaper, Twitter might be the best place. And people that are more into holistic health, I would recommend Facebook and then Instagram and then YouTube as a close third, because with holistic healing, whether it's hands-on or living a more holistic lifestyle, you want to connect with your clients, you want to connect with your customers, and the best way to do that is through the medium of video, and Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are the best platforms for video. So,
I have a quick question. What about LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is
It's like its own animal.
it is its own animal, and it's a interesting combination of professional networking with social media. And because they're just new to the social media aspect, I think people are still trying to figure out how to integrate it. So the best sort of indicator to help you decide what to do is how can I provide the most value to my client. Now if your client is a working professional and they spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, that's where you would go to post your content, whether it's a video, whether it's a nice little ebook or a free report helping them with their concern.
So it's important before you even use social media, you have to understand who are your ideal clients,
Yeah.
and then you pick the platform that most connected to those people.
Yeah. And think about where they would be spending their time. Like, does my client spend time on Facebook? Does my client spend time on Instagram or LinkedIn or even Twitter? Or Pinterest is another good one. So Michaela, you sell t-shirts, right, with your company. So Pinterest is a good place for that because you can put up a picture of the t-shirt with a woman wearing the t-shirt, and it's more aspirational. That's if you were to like think of Pinterest, it's an aspirational platform. So anything that's helping a person paint their dreams, aspire for their goals, Pinterest is a good platform for that.
Aspirational and inspirational.
Aspirational and inspirational, yeah.
I like it. I like that. What would you say are the pitfalls to avoid?
So
Michaela liked this question.
some of the mistakes, pitfalls, or myths that people have around social media, one would be that if I post once a day, that's too much. So the
That's
best
not too much?
No. I post 3 times a day on Instagram, and I would say each of my posts reach about 20% of my followers. So just hypothetically speaking, say you have 1,000 followers on Instagram and you post 3 posts a day, each one of those posts are only hitting 200 people, only 20%. And that's just meaning that it got in front of their eyes. It doesn't mean that they actually engaged it.
Right.
And it's because there's so much content out there that you need to be able to stand above the noise. And the way you stand above the noise is post on a regular basis, and then post content that gets the person to stop, look at it, and engage with it. They hit the like button, they leave a comment. Because on the back end, the social media platforms see that as like a good piece of content.
Right.
If you post something and nobody engages with it, Facebook essentially says, this isn't good,
Goodbye.
goodbye.
Nobody will see it.
Right.
And that's another pitfall, is people experience frustration and disappointment because they're like, I post all these things and nobody sees it. And it's like, because your most avid fans aren't even engaging with it.
So it's really like an indicator. If that's what you're getting, you're not getting much response. It's just indicating to you, okay, maybe you need to tweak what you're posting. Maybe you tweak your content, maybe you tweak your pictures, maybe you use video, whatever. You just got to keep tweaking until you find, right? That's really what social media is.
Yeah.
You got to kind of find the sweet spot and then keep doing that.
Yeah. And to what Chantalyn said about knowing your ideal client, knowing your audience, knowing what they will stop and look at is a helpful guideline for that, what kind of content you're going to post. Because as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we tend to think, I know what's right, I know what my clients want. Facebook engagement is a good indication of whether or not you're providing them what they want. So if I post something and no one sees it, and I may think that is the best thing ever, but nobody did anything, unfortunately you have to admit, like, that wasn't right.
You gotta be open. You have to not be attached, one, and then be open to like looking at it differently and say, okay, what else can I do? Right?
So that would be like another pitfall, is being so attached to your own content that you're not willing to acknowledge whether it was engaging or not.
Got it.
And then another pitfall I see, especially on Facebook, is people use their personal profile, the one that they initially signed up with Facebook, that's the one that their grandma follows, their high school friends follow,
I think that's me.
They post their business content on their profile, and they may get likes and comments, but that's from their family and friends. But then they look at their business and are like, but my business isn't growing, even though I'm getting all this engagement. And it's because they're posting their business content on their personal profile. It's like running your restaurant business out of your house, right? You're always promoting your specials and all these things at your house, and your friends are like, yeah, that's good, but they're not bringing in more people. So to solve that, I would say have a business page, post your business page first, and then share it over onto your personal profile. So it's just like, you have a restaurant, you launch a special, but it's all at the restaurant, but then you go home and you tell your family and friends about it, and you ask them to spread the word. Same principle.
And so that's also a way to get people to move from your personal page to your business page, right? Because in reality, in essence, you do want some of the people that are on your personal profile to move to the business profile. Well, your ideal people on your personal profile to then move to your business profile.
Exactly.
And then so what other things, because this brings us to another question that I'm curious about, is so then how do we get more people on our business page?
Yeah, so there's 2 ways to grow. One is organically, and that's just like when you open any business, you start with your family and friends, the people that would move over to the business page.
Right.
And you say, I just launched my business page. Can you go like my page? Can you comment when you see stuff posting there? Because that helps me grow my page. So that's the free way. And then the paid way is to run Facebook ads, and they're relatively cheap. If you think about all advertising, from magazines to billboards to commercials, Facebook ads are still the cheapest. And you would run what's called a traffic and like campaign. And it's essentially, you make a post, whether it's a photo or a video, and the whole purpose is to increase the number of people that like your page. It's not to sell products, it's not to sell services, it's just to get awareness about your page.
And what I understand is that when you do that type of a campaign on Facebook, it's actually the per like is a lot cheaper than when you do a campaign to try to sell something.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Right?
Yeah.
Because like if you try to do a campaign to get conversions, you could pay up to like $2 for a click. While if you're doing just like a like campaign or just people moving to your business page, it could be cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it's a little bit more nuanced, because when you set up the ad, you can either choose to pay per click or you can choose to pay per 1,000 impressions. And that means that the ad appeared 1,000 times. So you can either choose to pay $2 for 1 click or you can choose to pay $2 for 1,000 impressions. And with a like campaign, you want to go with impressions because it's about a broader audience. Like how I want to show this to as many people as possible.
And then it's always easy to just go click, like.
Yeah, and you're not asking the viewer to buy anything. And the old marketing adage of you need to have 7 impressions before a person takes action, it really applies to social media. Like they need to see your content multiple times so they feel like they know you, and then they'll be like, oh, click, she's selling a nice t-shirt, I want to buy that t-shirt. But if you try and sell a t-shirt to a stranger, they're like, okay, there's thousands of other things that I want to stop and like look at. So
Okay.
Wow.
So then what are the best practices? This is Chantalin's favorite question.
Yes.
So we didn't.
So-
Well, what
One
you
each.
focus on expands,
Exactly.
right?
yeah.
Exactly.
So best practices, one would be to post every single day.
Wow, that's a commitment.
How many
Yeah.
times? 3 times a day?
So I would start with once a day.
Oh, at least one.
And it could be something as simple as like a status update, like here's my daily affirmation, or here's a tip of the day to my specific audience. So if you do life coaching, you could offer a tip of the day for life coaching, and it can be just text. Or if you're a little bit more tech savvy, you can make a little nice photo of, say, somebody succeeding in life, and that's the photo, and then above you put the text about your life coaching tip. And then if you're even more inclined, you can make a video where you pull up your phone, hit record, here's the life coaching tip of the day, and then post it, right? And to help avoid overwhelm, because as you said, that's like a lot, or some people may be intimidated, you can create a post calendar. So you sit down on, say, a Saturday night, and you plan out the whole month of what you're going to post. So
I should have brought my little social media calendar from upstairs to
week
show.
week 1 on Monday through Sunday, I'm going to post this information. And then you do it for the whole month. That way, you're not struggling each day to be like,
To
oh
figure
my
out
gosh,
what
what do
you're
I
gonna
post,
do.
what do I
Right.
post, and then you don't
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah.
Right. So I have a question, because a lot of us do more than one business. Like for instance, I like to help people to live a more holistic lifestyle, and I want to help them with what they put in their body, on their body, and around them. So we all know I'm a beauty counter rep, so I talk about skincare, cosmetic.
Yeah.
But I also rep Purium, which is a platform for superfood, organic. How do I do that?
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
a
like
good question.
yeah, because
Yeah, that is a really good question.
because it's still in the same realm of helping people detox.
It's
and
in
be
your
clean.
umbrella, right.
In my umbrella, but
It's
it
different
seems
products.
like that would be a lot.
Yeah.
Like, where do I do it all?
Yeah. So I'm in that same boat, and there's hundreds of other people in that same boat. And I think why we're able to do that now is because we're no longer locked down to one profession, right? I no longer have to be just an accountant or just a lawyer or just a massage therapist.
Right.
So the way you overcome that hurdle is realize that you are the product, you are the service, and it's more personal brand. And instead of like trying to silo it and say, okay, here's my beauty product business, here's my detox business, it's more like, here is my lifestyle.
This is true.
I like that. I like
And
that.
my lifestyle involves healthy beauty products, my lifestyle involves detox, healthy food. And instead of trying to create content that educates the person, you can just document your own life. Like think of yourself.
Take
Like
notes.
show people how you walk your talk.
Exactly.
Love it.
So set up your phone, your camera. Here's me doing my skincare routine.
Here's me cooking.
Here's me cooking with this food. And then
Here's me at the farmer's market. I
Here's me.
did that this morning.
Yeah.
inevitably
see?
people will be like,
Could have recorded it.
what is she using in her skincare routine? What is she using in her food? What is she putting in her smoothie? And then eventually throughout your social media calendar, you would put 3 to 4 little like selling points, right? So today I'm gonna share with you the smoothie or the powder that I put in my smoothie and like really dive into it. But that's only once out of a week or something like that.
Okay.
A good practice I've heard is 3 to 1. So 3 pieces of content that are like just of service, of value, and then 1 piece of content that's like an ask.
Yeah,
Sort
so
of
you're
like-
not constantly buy this, buy that, sign up here. You know.
It's like
Yeah,
here
because
you
then
go,
it's what
here
people
you go.
go to now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's something interesting about the personal brand, because as we get to know a person, it's like, what does she do with her skincare routine? So instead of you having to say, this is the skincare that I use, people ask you because they see it every day and they're like, what is it that you're using? So they actually ask you. So that's called pull marketing. Your content that you're creating is pulling people to you.
They're auto-selecting themselves into
Yeah.
what you're doing, right? Which is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
And
I
that
like
want a
and I
business
think
to
that really suits the holistic mindset. 'cause
Totally.
It does,
I spent
absolutely.
years
Absolutely.
as a massage therapist, and so many therapists, it hurts them in their heart to be like, I have to sell something. Like
Right.
people lock up and cringe. But if it's like I get to teach somebody how to live a better life, I can do that all day, every day. So that's what you're doing with your social media content, is helping people live a better life. If you're a massage therapist, you do it that way. If you're a coach, you do it that way. If you live a lifestyle where it's all about putting healthy things in and on your body, you do it that way.
I love it. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I think you specifically could do really a lot with that.
I could.
Because under that umbrella of detoxing, helping people detox, there's a
Yeah.
lot of different things that you
There,
can show.
because I consciously choose each product and each activity on how it fuels me and how it, in alignment with my holistic lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I want to thrive and
Yeah.
I want to optimize. Again, that's
Yeah.
my favorite, optimizing everything. Optimizing my skin, my hair, my digestion.
Yeah, and then, sorry, Michaela, you said something earlier about integrating. That
Yes.
is a great way to integrate social media into your everyday life.
That's my favorite word.
So instead of
integration.
like, again, siloing it, like, okay, I'm going to step out of my life and do my social media, it's more like I'm just integrating and sharing my life with my
Yeah.
customers through the medium of social.
Right.
And you know what I also like about having videos is that people do get a feel of you, and relationships help your business. Business is
Absolutely.
about building
Yeah.
relationships.
Yes.
So they want to see, it's true. They want to see what it is that you're doing,
Yeah.
and if they can resonate, and then it is an integration. It's like
Yeah.
what we learn, but then what are you going to do with that knowledge?
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
That is very helpful for me.
So I was gonna ask you instead, like for somebody like me who's a coach, then what would you show? So that's really easy for her to show because she's really integrated products into what her lifestyle is as a holistic practitioner,
Yeah.
right? And holistic person. So somebody who's a coach, and we know there's a lot of them,
Yeah.
they're going to be watching this. So like, what would you tell them or what would you tell me that I could share
Yeah.
that would be something on a daily basis as a coach? Obviously, I'm not going to be sharing necessarily product, although I do have a product, but I can't share my t-shirts every day, right?
Yeah.
That'd be boring. So like, what would I...
So
Her affirmations, maybe.
what type of coaching do you do?
So it's emotional release,
Emotional
basically.
release.
Emotion code is the modality, so it's emotional release.
Okay. So,
But I use affirmations.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say every day you can have an affirmation. And also for you, maybe you wake up and you have a certain emotion and you want to share with people and you say, how do we cope? Or how do we release
Okay,
something?
yeah.
Because, we're all having that human experience.
Yeah.
You can also share like commentary on the world. So
Um,
I observe this in the world. Like I observe people experiencing anger, and then this effect happens. and then you provide it as a coaching
Got it.
opportunity. If you feel these feelings,
Right.
here's a good way that you can resolve it. Pause, use your own expertise.
It'll be perfect without conversation about parenting.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. Ooh,
you know what
you're
I
right.
mean?
I should
it's
use
like,
that.
because we both were sharing a moment where we're being parents, and we're like,
More like just...
wow, this is intense, and how do we release that, and how to, move forward from that point.
Yeah.
Talk about
And
the
on that
emotional release.
note, being vulnerable on camera is the best thing for a coach to do, because I myself have people
totally
that I
resonate
look
with
up
that.
to,
Yeah.
and in my mind, whether I want to or not, I'm like, they're perfect, they don't struggle. But each time I see them being real on camera, and it's like, oh,
It's refreshing.
they also struggle, they also
Right,
have
right.
negative emotions, they also experience unpleasant things.
Yeah.
So
So it makes
that-
them human.
Yeah.
Makes us human, right.
And it makes you more endearing, I believe, when
Yeah,
you see
yeah,
your
yeah.
vulnerability.
Yeah. Well, one thing that actually came to mind as we're just kind of chatting about this is I say my affirmations every day, usually in the morning, but sometimes at night as well. And so I thought maybe I could just make a video of that. It's like, okay, this is what I do, and this is my morning routine. This is my evening routine.
Yeah.
This is what I do during the day to keep me, so I could share that too.
Yeah. And I would wear
Good stuff.
I would wear one of your t-shirts in every video,
Oh, you would. Okay.
Yes.
I can do that.
Yeah.
because it's like professional athletes
Yeah.
wear like the logo of the,
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
company that's
right.
sponsoring them, and
I'm
because-
endorsing.
because our culture
I'm
is okay with
endorsing
it now.
my
It's more like
Right. Okay, that's good.
yeah,
Good
I'll
stuff.
sponsor myself.
yeah.
Good stuff. We have any other questions or?
Well, so now you're giving us some great tips and practices to integrate.
Yeah.
When is it a time to actually hire a social media
Yeah.
expert?
Exactly.
When do we cross over that threshold?
Yeah. So the best time to hire a social media expert is when you know it's not your expertise.
Oh,
take that
See,
note
I was
down.
I was thinking he was gonna say, well, when you get overwhelmed. But that's no, you don't want to
No.
wait until you get overwhelmed. You
Yeah.
just want to do it. If you're not the expert, then
Yeah. So
hand it over.
and the reason I say that is because your energy should be focused on your craft.
Yeah.
Now you still
Your
need
gift.
you still need to be involved. So if social media is not natural to you, you can provide the content, like the education
right.
or the documenting, but then it's up to the social media person that you hire to curate it and post it.
Oh, that's my favorite word. Curator of all things great.
Yeah. And then it's important when you're choosing an expert that they're not just good at using social media in their personal life. They need to understand the strategic marketing business aspect of social media,
Right.
so that they're not just putting up photos of you and you're like, well, I'm paying you $20 an hour and
To just put
my
photos.
business isn't growing,
Yeah.
right? It needs to be like a teamwork where it's like, okay, here's my video, here's my photo, now I want you to post it, and I want you to do it in a way that gets engagement.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think if people are ready for you, where can they find you?
So the best place to find me is on social media.
Surprise.
Surprise.
And you would go on Facebook and or Instagram and search ozro.hepworth. We'll put a link in the description below this video. And also, if you follow me, you actually get to see me use social media every day, and that's a good way to learn, is just to observe somebody using it all the time. Just like if I want to learn how to dance, I can get a coach, but it's also helpful to watch people that are really good at it dance. So you need to have a marriage of having a coach, but also watching people that are good at it. And that way you can see how easily I integrate it into my life. It's not like a struggle to post to Instagram and post
Right,
to
right.
Facebook.
And what else are you working on?
Yeah, so aside from doing social media consulting, my passion project is my Make Positivity Louder challenge. And I started it over a year ago, where I post one video every single day for over a year. So today is day 380.
Wow.
Yeah, so every single day I made a 1-minute video talking about the importance of positivity, offering affirmations that help you feel more positive, surrounding myself with positive people. And that
Being part of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce.
being part of the
The
holistic
Santa
chamber-
Monica
Santa
chapter.
Monica.
yeah, and that
Shameless plugs.
that practice itself allows me to stay up with the trends of social media, and that's another best practice, is to keep current, because all this advice that we're giving now may be irrelevant in 6 months.
Yeah, and actually that's also a reason why to hire an expert.
Yeah.
Is because it is daunting
Yeah.
to keep up with everything that's changing. And I know that like Facebook changes things almost every 4 weeks or 6
Yeah.
weeks or something like
Yeah.
that. So it's like, why do you need to put your time when you can do what you're meant to do and have an expert actually do it, right?
Yeah, the
It's their job to keep up.
analogy that just popped in mind is like a stockbroker, right?
Right, exactly.
They're
They have
in
to
the market
follow.
every single day, and the reason they win is because they do it every day.
Or an accountant, you know.
Or an accountant.
Like they got to keep up with all the new tax laws.
Exactly.
Right.
Especially this year.
And
Boy.
that's another pitfall, is that people implement a strategy and they're getting all this engagement on their Facebook page, and then Facebook changes something and all of a sudden they get no engagement, and they're like, what am I doing wrong? What happened? And it's not that you did anything wrong, it's just that Facebook changed the
The
rules of
algorithms.
the game.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Michaela and I are greatly grateful for
Yeah.
all your tips and expertise.
Yes, this was
and
great.
also, Ozro is helping us with putting our chapter on the map. He's helping us with our Instagram account, our Facebook page, so come like our page, and now with our new YouTube channel.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this is great.
And it's so great to have him as our first interviewer.
Yay.
Yeah, and we'll put all of Ozro's information and our information in the comments below, and you can reach out to anybody.
Yeah.
And especially to Ozro if you have any more questions about social media, how to implement it in your business, and especially if you really need support.
cool.
Yes, and come join us. Our social hour is this Monday. We have a social hour once a month. You can come
On the first
meet.
Monday of the month.
Yes, and then a third Tuesday of every month we'll have our monthly meeting. So come join us. Many, many more people for you to meet and incorporate your holistic lifestyle into your business, and let's thrive together as a community.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.